I'll also be conducting Verklärte Nacht of Schoenberg, which is one of my favorite pieces, and I love the piece particularly when I look at the poem, the generosity of the poem. It's a man and woman walking alone at night who clearly love each other, and the woman has a secret that she has to tell the man, and she's afraid that he won't love her anymore if she tells him. But if she doesn't tell him, their relationship is going to fall apart because there's this wall between them. And the first half of the piece is her thoughts and her talking. And the second half of the piece is him talking. It's quite interesting because the first half is really complex, very hard to put together. And when he starts talking, it's much easier. It's less complex. And his perspective, his thoughts they're less angular and less zigzaggy than hers are. And I love telling it from my point of view. I'm a storyteller. It's a piece for strings. There are no words, but it's based on a poem. And I'm really working from a musical and dramaturgical perspective in the way that I approach this piece with Ludwig, who will be the orchestra for it. Another major work that we're going to do, that I'm going to conduct and sing, is the Gershwin Girl Crazy Suite. And this is a suite that Bill Elliott and I made together. Is a kind of companion piece for one of my favorite characters in the world, which is Lulu. The Gershwin Suite is those songs that everybody knows. I Got Rhythm and Embraceable You, Strike Up the Band, But Not For Me. I guess it's probably the first piece that's ever been written for a singer who will definitely also be conducting the piece. So it's quite a groundbreaking work. And to bring it to Ojai is super exciting. There will be pieces that I, quote unquote, just sing. And one of those pieces is the Grisé, 4 chants pour franchir le seuil. 4 songs to carry the soul over the threshold. And it's 4 movements. The piece is about 40 minutes long. It is a very powerful piece. It's one of my most favorite pieces in the world. And it's an exploration of that moment between life and death, and looking at texts from old sarcophagi, is that the plural? A kind of cry, final death scream. A beautiful, almost lullaby at the end of the piece. And the orchestration is phenomenal. I think it's 15 or 16 players, and it's like steel pans, solo strings, 2 saxophones tuned in microtonal tuning, and then these 2 tubas and a trombone. It's a very, very powerful meditation. It's a piece to be witnessed, and everyone in the piece is witness to the piece. I've done this, I've sung it with Berlin Philharmonic and Simon Rattle, I've sung it in London, I've sung it in Paris with Ensemble Intercontemporain, and here in Ojai, Steve Schick will be conducting, which is, for me, he's one of my heroes. I remember being at a festival when I was like 20 years old, in Toronto, that he was playing at, and I just couldn't believe this guy. So I'm thrilled to actually collaborate with him for the first time. So I asked him to conduct. He loves the piece as much as I do. So that's one of the major works that I'm going to sing. I couldn't resist. I need to sing that. I need to sing that here, because this audience is just, they're going to get it. They're really going to get it. So I'll also be singing another of my favorite pieces, the Schoenberg String Quartet. And this piece was kind of the turning point of harmony, of harmonic language. It was written at a moment in his life where he was going through quite a traumatic experience. And I do think that has something to do with his writing. His wife had left him, and he was in the depths of despair. And in this piece of music, he departed from harmony. Now, he was on that path, you know that Schoenberg was absolutely on a harmonic path and he could not turn back. But this piece was the moment when he just stepped out into the void. And the last movement of the piece begins with the soprano. The soprano's first lines are, Ich fühle Luft von anderen Planeten. I feel the air from other planets. And he really, it's just magical because it's the beginning of not always an easy journey. It was a painful journey, harmonically. To leave harmony the way Schoenberg left it, it's painful. I mean, there are a lot of people that will never forgive him for that. They will never forgive him for what he did to music. On the other hand, it was his courage that freed sound for so many composers. This string quartet is really a piece that I've been performing, gosh, I don't know how many years, at least 10 or 15 years now, with many different ensembles, and I'm thrilled that I will sing it here in Ojai with the Jack Quartet. I've never collaborated with the Jack Quartet as a quartet. This will be the first time that we collaborate, and I'm very happy that it's the first time they're ever going to play the piece. I love that. So we can really explore together how we want to make the sound of the Schoenberg String Quartet.